Well, we're recording this on Tuesday lunchtime, and with the prospects of potential industrial action to be announced by the Post Office, and of course we don't know, but it was, while we had you in doing another interview, it was good to get your take on this, and which is what?
Well, I do think, I mean, if we end up with strike action today, I think it will be a retrograde step. It's an unfortunate step as well, given we live in a very close community and many of the individuals involved, postmen, are known to us. But I don't think it's going to do anybody any favours particularly, and it certainly will not help deflect or detract from the fundamental issues, which is about the long-term future for the Post Office under quite severe pressure. And frankly, I don't understand how or why the unions or the workers actually think that a strike is actually going to solve any problems at this precise
Mr.
point.
Pullinger pulled no punches in our PMC-TV Skype interview. He was saying it's the worst management, and everything was not going right, and you don't know what you're doing. I mean, management-wise, what do you think?
Well, I think I did hear that interview,
Yeah.
and what struck me about it, it was long. The interview itself was long on a broad basis, but really failed to knuckle down to any detail per se. And I think what we've got presented in front of us in Tynwald next week is a clear set of outline recommendations from the Post Office management and directors that they need support on. And I think that Tynwald will be wise to give them support, because effectively when you look at the overall position, the Post Office is made a £1.2 million loss last year.
But you grab
the volume.
The
volume of letters in the last 10 years has virtually halved.
But parcels gone up?
A little bit, not by much, but it has been increasing. The pension scheme is increasingly looking precarious and is slowly moving into the red effectively, requiring urgent attention, and this long-term future is let's put it bluntly, bleak, and that needs resolution. So in a number of critical areas, the Post Office management have some significant challenges, and it's right that they start bringing forward proposals now to deal with those challenges. And I think the best thing that the union can do is to try and actually take steps to support the management and work with the management to get the best outcome, because a lot of options are looking increasingly limited for the Post Office.
Are you still taking like £1 million or something each year, whatever it was? Are you still trying to take...
At various points, the Treasury has taken a dividend.
It was a cash cow, wasn't it?
From the Post Office. I wouldn't go that far at all, but certainly under the last government, the Treasury took about £2 million.
Yeah.
Well, I think last year it was pretty clear to myself and the Treasury Board that you certainly couldn't sustain taking money out of the Post Office. So we've reduced that, and we're going to eradicate it. So we're not taking...
No. Do you see the time, though, that you'll be putting money in? I mean, is that where it's going? Because it is literally that model is falling off now.
Unless we take action, then what we will have a position whereby the Treasury will have to subvent, the government will have to subvent, the taxpayer will have to subvent the Isle of Man Post Office. Now, we can't go to that situation because funds are incredibly tight at the moment, Paul. As you know, we'd set out a clear 5-year programme to tackle some of our core challenges, not least the public sector pensions deficit. There are a number of other challenges that need attention, including the health and social care service. So for us to accept the position from the Post Office and to start paying out further funds,
how much
put incredible pressure on public funds.
How much do you have a say in this? Because you are Treasury. I mean, are you pulling some strings? Are you involved in this behind the scenes, the negotiations, and telling the management you just hold steady? You're not having any. There's nowhere to go on this one.
Well, I think we meet with the management once a year as part of a budget process, just to make sure, effectively, not to control or direct the Post Office, but to talk about whether or not Treasury should be receiving any dividends from the Post Office.
And you'll know by now what you're doing for next year, right?
And to be sure that the Post Office is fulfilling its legal obligations, which is to run its business in a financially responsible manner.
Are you going to grab this next budget? Have you got pencils in there to take out a few million?
I think your focus is on the wrong area, with greatest respect, Paul, because as I said, government's effectively losing its requirement to pay any dividends. It recognises the Post Office has serious financial challenges. It recognises there was a loss made. It recognises that the pension fund in particular is causing significant issues, and volumes have declined, and a number of other issues. So actually we're doing our bit. We're going to get rid of any dividend requirements from the post office.
Oh, you are?
And effectively,
That's
yes,
news.
we are. We're already on that.
Okay.
We're already on that track, okay? But the key issue now is for the management and the workforce to actually address these key issues. And what we've got set out in front of us in Tynwald is a step forward that needs to be addressed. And frankly, strike action is just not going to help the cause whatsoever.
So it has to stand on its own legs, really. I mean, you don't see it at a point where you will have to prop it up. I mean, that's your plan, is it? Just it can.
Well, nobody wants the government to prop up any more enterprises than it's already propping up.
So they've got to balance their books.
We have to run the post, but we have to accept reality. The reality is that it's a changing environment. The digital world has meant that post has dropped. Letters have almost halved over the last 10 years. People use emails now. Yes, that of course the emphasis is changing in terms of parcel deliveries and people's requirements for business transactions effectively over the internet. And we have to face up to the reality of the situation. And we also have to face up to the reality of the situation, if I can, with regards to the pension. And what the management are proposing ultimately is that they're going to close to new members and look at a new defined contribution scheme as opposed to defined benefit scheme for employees. And I think these are actually the right steps that they need to be taking because you can't just bury this in the long grass and hope it's going to go away, because we know it's not going to go away. So we have to take, the management have to take the action, the board have to take the action.
Okay.
They're coming to Tynwald for support. I'll be disappointed if they don't get it.
Well, as I said, at time of recording, we don't know what was going to happen, but if it does end up in a strike, will it be the management will go in there and stop delivering letters, and because Julie Edge has made it clear that there's a robust sort of plan in action.
Well, I don't know what Julie Edge's plans are in terms of how she's going to deal with deliveries. We don't even know at this particular stage as we talk what sort of strike action, if there is going to be any.
But you see hardball on this, would you? I mean, like, no more negotiation, or would you want them back at the table?
No,
Is there movement? Is there wriggle room?
Well, there isn't really a lot, actually, in terms... What we're setting out is effectively the principles in Tynwald next week, particularly around the pension scheme, particularly around recognition of the challenges that are facing the post office. And some of the detail of that has still got to be confirmed, and that's why I'm very surprised that they've chosen or potentially chosen to take industrial or strike action at this point, because I think that's far too early in the proceedings, and frankly I just don't understand or believe that they've got the justification for doing so at present.